Okay, so you've got a big, shiny new AI project announced at your company. We all kind of expect some pushback, right? But what if the strongest resistance, the kind that can really grind things to a halt, doesn't come from where you think? Today, we're going to dive into two critical and often misunderstood groups that can absolutely make or break any AI initiative.
And just so you know where we're pulling this from, this explainer is based on chapters 5 and 6 of a fantastic report from Virtualization Options LLC. This lets us get a really focused look right at the heart of the issue.
So let's ask the big question. Where does the strongest resistance really come from? Now, when you think of AI resistance, who do you picture? Probably the tech teams, right? Worried about integration headaches? Or maybe frontline employees, worried about their jobs. But this report, it points to two other groups whose resistance is often more powerful, way more subtle, and honestly, far more consequential.
All right, let's get into our first group, the Guardians. Now, these aren't your typical blockers. Think of them more as the protectors of the entire organization's integrity. We're talking about finance and accounting.
So you got to understand this. Resistance from the finance department isn't about them being anti-technology. Not at all. It is baked right into their professional DNA. They are trained from day one to be skeptical. Their entire world revolves around precision, accuracy, and integrity. Think about it. In their field, 99% accuracy isn't a success, it's a potential disaster. That professional mindset makes them naturally and rightly cautious about AI.
So what does this actually sound like in a meeting? Well, they'll ask the tough questions. How can we possibly audit a black box algorithm? Or they'll point out that the AI's accuracy doesn't meet their sky-high requirements. They'll bring up regulatory uncertainty and how this new tool might clash with their existing control frameworks. And let's be super clear here. These aren't just excuses. These are legitimate, critical professional concerns.
And this right here, this slide, this explains everything. Look at the stakes. If an AI that predicts sales gets it wrong, what happens? You get some poor planning. Okay, not great, but you can fix it. But if a finance AI makes an error in something like revenue recognition, whoa, you're talking regulatory investigations, massive legal liability. We're in a whole different universe of risk, and that explains their entire cautious approach.
So how do you get them on board? The trick isn't to steamroll them or work around them. You have to address their concerns head on. You build the AI to work inside their existing control frameworks. You use AI systems that can actually explain their decisions. You give them all the time and data they need to test, validate, and build trust. And most importantly, you make them a partner in figuring out the regulatory stuff from day one, not an afterthought.
And check this out. The report gives us a perfect case study of this in action with an AI for expense categorization. They didn't just flip a switch and hope for the best. No way. They started at zero. The AI just flagged things for a human to review. Then, as the team saw it working, proving itself over and over, they slowly dialed up the automation. After a year, the finance team literally went from being the biggest skeptics to the biggest advocates, all because the process respected their professional standards. It built trust.
Okay, group number 2. Let's talk about the gatekeepers. This is your middle management. They are the absolutely critical bridge between the C-suite strategy and the reality on the ground. And if they're not on board, your AI initiative is probably dead on arrival.
Now, resistance from a middle manager, it's rarely a big dramatic no. It's way more subtle. It's like a death by 1,000 paper cuts. It sounds like, oh, we've just got too many other priorities right now. They'll filter information, maybe only passing along the problems to their teams. They won't actively tell people not to use the new AI tool. They just won't enforce it. And every tiny little glitch, it gets amplified until it sounds like a catastrophic failure. It is incredibly effective at killing a project, all while they maintain plausible deniability.
So why do they do this? Are they just being difficult? Well, no. It's because they are stuck right in the middle of a massive tug of war. From above, they've got executives breathing down their necks, demanding they deliver on AI and efficiency. But from below, they feel a real duty to their teams to protect them from disruption and chaos. They're constantly trying to balance these two opposing forces.
And if you really dig into it, their resistance makes a ton of sense. First off, let's be real. It can be an existential threat. A lot of AI tools are designed to automate the very things middle managers spend their days doing, coordinating tasks, monitoring performance, making decisions. Second, as AI makes more calls, their own authority can get eroded. And finally, they're often just told to implement a decision that was made way above their heads, without their input, which feels, frankly, pretty disrespectful to their expertise.
So what's the fix? Well, it all comes down to framing.
The report highlights this brilliant insight from a retail case study. Their success came from this one simple, powerful shift in perspective. They positioned AI not as a replacement for the manager, but as a tool to help them do their job better. That's it. That's the secret sauce. It empowers them instead of threatening them, and it changes the entire dynamic.
So when you put these two groups together, the guardians and the gatekeepers, a really powerful idea starts to take shape. It's not about how to fight resistance. It's about completely transforming our approach to it.
And if you remember one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. Resistance is not an obstacle. Resistance is information. It's incredibly valuable feedback. The tough questions from finance, they're revealing the weaknesses in your audit and control plan. The pushback from middle managers, that's highlighting the flaws in your implementation and training strategy. Listening to resistance actually makes your project stronger.
And what's beautiful is that the solution for both of these very different groups is exactly the same: early and genuine involvement. When you bring these teams into the process from the beginning, you're not just getting their buy-in, you're using their expertise to build a better system. You transform them from being critics of your plan into being co-authors of a successful one.
Because at the end of the day, that's the real goal here. Success isn't about winning a fight against resistance. It's about turning those resistors into your biggest partners. When the guardians of integrity and the gatekeepers of adoption are truly invested, believe me, they become the most powerful champions for change you could ever hope for.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about for your own projects. The next time you run into that wall of resistance, ask yourself, is this the biggest obstacle I'm facing? Or is it the most valuable piece of feedback I'm ever going to get? Something to really think about.